Now, winning big at the 64th Emmy Awards this year, Jewish and LGBTQ activist, actor, director, and producer Yuval David, whose new guerrilla-style series One Actor Short, earning some 100 awards and praises around the world. Joining me now with more is Yuval David. Thank you so much for being with me right now.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be on your show. It's an honor speaking with you.
And the honor is mine. Now, such an incredible premise, and I thoroughly loved watching this series. How did you come up with the idea of enlisting amateur strangers on the streets for your series?
So I love improv. Improvisation is something that's truly part of my daily life, but it's part of all of my work within entertainment and media. Whether I'm acting, I have a script, but how am I improvising between the lines? And if I don't have a script, because I've also done television shows and films that are very improv based, of course, there's improvisation there. The same thing when I work as a director. How do I get my actors to do things that aren't only in the script, how to make things their own?
All right, well, was it hard finding participants? Because I saw the intro to every episode where you get some yeses and some nos, but was it more yeses than nos or the other way around?
That's a good question. There were certain episodes where we got a tremendous amount of no's, but then those yeses became even more special. The last episode, which was filmed during this pandemic, had more yeses than nos, to the point that I was concerned, because every episode has to show the reality of my being turned down, of my walking up to random strangers and saying, hey, can you give me 8 minutes of your time to act in this short film? And I was just getting yes after yes after yes. And what the last episodes revealed was the actual need in society for people to connect, for people to want to be seen. And I really read the social implications or the social symbolism that comes from when somebody embraces silliness and does something that they never planned on doing, and when they don't.
All right, so again, with all the improvisations, how do you build a cohesive narrative, or did the story maybe change as you went along?
Yes to both. So at the start of each filming day, I have no clue what kind of film I'm going to create. I only choose a location, and I know my film crew. I have 2 cameras, I have 2 audio people, I have my production assistants, and we go to a specific location. Every interaction will further develop the overall narrative that we'll create. So at the start of the day, I really don't know what will happen, but it's those first interactions where the narrative starts to get built. I improvise, and I'm the scene partner for these random strangers, these new spontaneous actors, and we ultimately will create a storyline. And then I further understand, okay, well, this is the kind of genre that I can create as I'm directing these random strangers and my film crew. But the magic really happens in post-production, in the editing, where I can weave together all of these different elements, maybe cut them in a different order, and create a cohesive narrative.
Were you surprised by any of the actors' skills? You know, who's got the best chance of making it in Hollywood? My guess is the pigeon in the credits of episode 1.
Oh, wow. Very good. I'm glad you appreciated that pigeon. I appreciated the pigeon as well. That was a very bold pigeon who needed to leave. There are people who have never acted before who decide to just be playful and do this, to the point that you think, wow, is this person a professional actor? There are some people who totally committed to their performances. So yeah, there are people who absolutely should and could become actors based on their performances here.
I want to talk now about your Jewish advocacy, actually, particularly as a member of the End Jew Hatred movement. What are some of the biggest challenges that you're trying to address, and where are you focusing your efforts?
I've always been a Jewish advocate. I've always understood the importance of advocating as a Jewish person to do Jewish activism. It's part of my identity. It's actually, I refer to it as the #1 part of my identity. Even with this series, One Actor Short, in my Jewish identity and my Zionist identity, it's about empowering other people. It's about uplifting other people. So I bring that in through the comedy of this series to make sure other people feel good about themselves and proud about themselves. as for my specific Jewish advocacy work, we're in a time where it's so important to amplify Jewish voices and not let anybody reframe our own narrative, not let anybody tell us who we are. We're at a time where we need to tell people who we are, not listening to them trying to change our own story, change our peoplehood. We're at a time that we're facing an incredible amount of Jew hatred, and we just need to represent ourselves more than ever before.
All right, Yuval, it has seriously been an honor for me. I'm so happy to have spoken with you. Thank you so much, and congratulations again on your Emmy.
Thank you for having me on your show. It's a treat speaking with you, and yeah, this is great. Thank you. Oh, and just because we can, there she is.
Yes, there she is.
I haven't named her yet beyond Emmy. I have to figure out what her Jewish name is going to be.
Amalia. Go with Amalia. It's Hebrew for servant of God.
I have her Jewish name. Amalia?
Yeah.
She looks like an Amalia.
Yeah, it's my mother's name.
That's good. That's great. Thank you.
Yeah, no, it's my mother's name,
Cheated,
so I
but
cheated.
It's good. I appreciate it. That's a very good name for her. Well, seriously, thank you for having me on. And I appreciate everything that you do with your show, because what you do also is a form of Jewish advocacy, Jewish activism. We need to speak out as who we are and empower other people like us to do the same. So it's great chatting with you.
Thank you so much again, Yuval. It was wonderful talking to you.
Toda rבה.
All right.